There was a video that once went viral some time ago, and I never spoke about it because of something that you will see in the video. But I'll encourage you this: no matter how toxic this video gets, just keep watching. There's a very valuable lesson in what is said in the video.
Now everybody clap your hands. Come on. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Let's go. Let everything that has breath praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Let everything that has breath praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Let everything that has breath praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Let everything that has breath praise the Lord. One more time, say, let everything that has breath praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Let everything, back up just a little bit. That has breath. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Let everything, you're doing too much. That has breath. Praise the
Too much. You are doing entirely too much. We are in the middle of praise and worship, and I don't know what has gotten into you, but this is too much. This is too much what you're doing. So slow down, get on the beat, do what you're supposed to do. This is praise and worship.
First of all, what I'm supposed to do.
Hold up. No.
Doing what
No,
I'm
no, no.
supposed to do.
No,
You're not
no.
gonna do this during praise
No.
and worship.
Yes, I am.
Relax.
Yes, I am.
Relax.
Yes, I am. I don't mind. I don't care that it's live. I don't care that it's live. I don't care that it's live. No, I don't care that this is live. No, I don't care that this is live. I don't care that this is live. No, because I didn't forgive you for what you did. I didn't forgive you for what you did as sons and daughters. I didn't forgive you for what you did as sons and daughters. You should have listened, and I don't have to forgive you. I don't have to forgive you. No, I don't have to forgive you. I don't have to. I don't have to. I don't have to.
Nigel, get back in
You're
here.
not going to forgive me?
No, I'm not gonna forgive you.
You're not going to forgive me?
No, I'm not gonna forgive you.
Clearly you can't forgive
Wait,
me.
Hold up.
hey, what's going on here? What's going on here?
Bishop, I can't forgive her for what she did.
I don't know why you spoke
I cannot forgive
That's
her.
what the word says.
It doesn't matter. Right now, I'm not in that place. I'm not in that place.
You should forgive
I'm not in that
All right,
place.
hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't know what's happening in the church this morning, but I want to speak to you this morning on forgiveness in you. Have a seat right now. What you just witnessed was exactly what we had rehearsed.
So when this story came out, there was this viewpoint as if this thing was actually real. Kanti, it was not real. They actually acted it in order to give people a small summary of the message that the pastor was going to preach. It's Saturday, of course, I don't believe Saturday is a legit man, but the lesson sticks best. There's a moment inside there where she says, I don't care that this is life, which I think it's a very important point out of the whole thing. This is an example of people that you would say gangster. You see it in the streets out there in life. You see it on road rage incidents. You see people wanting to be the harder person, wanting to be, I am stronger than the other person, so I'm going to proclaim that. And, you remember the incident with the metro guy, the metro police gentleman who had a firearm with him in Braamfontein, and he got into a road rage, and he showed intent of harming the other gentleman. And the other gentleman just told himself, I'm not going to wait for you. And he shot him. Why? He wanted to be the most strongest gangster in the spot. This is so true of many scenarios of arguments where when you're listening to the argument, you're like, this argument could have literally stopped here, where a person refuses for the argument to end. Why? Spiritual maturity. You see, spiritual maturity is not something you can fake. It's not something you can display at a moment's note. It's either there or it's not there. It's grown. It's the thing that tells you, shut up and keep it moving. There's moments where you might be right, but it's beneficial to be quiet. There's moments when you might be right, you might be in the right, but it's just best to be quiet and just keep it moving. Because spiritual maturity requires that. I've said this about road rage. I've said it about trauma, as a matter of fact. There's a lot of offenses that come from people who've been traumatized by one person or the other. Someday I want to make a video talking about that, because I've seen that. I've had issues with people who've suffered from traumas which was so unwarranted. But because this person turned themselves into a hero and they start to offend people who've done no wrong to them, because everybody feels like a threat. Everybody becomes a threat. And so they feel like they gotta be that hero at every single time. You'll see it on social media. You'll see people that will fight everybody. They fight everybody. Why? Because they're dealing with trauma the wrong way. And the way we are to deal with it is biblically. The Bible tells us how to deal with forgiveness. The Bible tells us how to deal with trouble at any point. If we choose our own route, we create a problem. And if we are not growing, and by growing spiritually, what do we mean? We mean do the thing that's necessary. Do the thing that the Lord tells you to do in that situation. What does the Bible say? Deal with this thing like. Deal with it that way. Otherwise, a moment will arise. And because you've not had, your memory muscle is still strapped to the hero mentality, to the I'm going to fight this person myself. I'm not going to leave it to God. What ends up happening is that you become victim to anger. And now to each and every single responses, even when it's not warranted, that becomes the only way that person knows how to react.